We want to take you to polling from our partners at 538, now showing Biden trailing Trump 39 to 42% in the wake of that debate. To break all of this down, we want to turn to ABC's White House correspondent, Mary Alice Parks. Mary Alice, as we await the president speaking at that rally, what can he do on that stage today? And more importantly, in that exclusive interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos also this afternoon, to try to turn this around, to try to calm some of the concerns we've heard from within his own party?
Yeah, Jay, you said stop the bleeding. I'm thinking back to last week, right after the debate, the day after the debate, the president went to North Carolina and held a similar campaign rally there. And I did hear from a number of Democrats who overnight were panicked, but said that they liked what they saw on the campaign trail. You heard the president sort of booming, saying, when Americans know when you get knocked down, you get back up. And Democrats said that they felt relieved, reassured hearing him there, that that was exactly the kind of energy they needed to see more of. I do think this last week, though, has been incredibly frustrating for so many Democrats at the state party level here in Washington. We're talking to sources on Capitol Hill, elected officials, who say that they just haven't seen enough of the president in these last few days. It took too long for the president to be making phone calls to members of Congress, too long for him to set up this interview, not enough unscripted moments for the president to be reassuring Americans, reassuring Democratic voters. So like you said, a lot riding on today, both at the campaign event, but also in this interview, as he tries to calm fears and restore confidence in his campaign and in his presidency.
I want to bring in senior White House correspondent Selena Wang now, who was at that rally for us. And Selena, just very quickly to remind our viewers, and we may have your shot, we may not, but just to remind our viewers, while my friends in New York tell me if we have Selena, the run of show is that rally in Wisconsin, then he shoots the interview with our George Stephanopoulos, and that interview, which so many are anticipating, airs in prime time tonight. Selena, what have you heard from Democrats about their concerns as it relates to Biden, and are they going to be watching this interview? Can it turn some of their thoughts about the president around?
Yeah, look, I've been speaking with voters here. These are hardcore Biden backers. These are hardcore Democrats. What's really striking is that every single person I've spoken to say they are very nervous. They cannot confidently say whether or not they believe the president has what it takes to beat back Donald Trump, which is their priority. Several of them told me they will back whoever is at the top of the ticket, whether it is Biden, Vice President Harris, or somebody else. So this is really a make or break it moment for the president. You've got the voters here closely watching for any stumbles, any signs of his mental fitness and the stamina to prove that not only can he make it through this campaign, but another 4 years as president. I've also been speaking to donors and allies. They're anxiously waiting on the sidelines and watching all of this unfold very carefully. But even more important than this rally, which of course is with prepared remarks, the president will be reading off the prompter. More critically is that interview with George Stephanopoulos tonight, because these are his off-the-cuff remarks. That's where people really want to see whether or not the president can shine and perform far better than he did on that Thursday debate. The voters here I've been talking to, they were very much rattled by the president's debate performance, and they want to see with their own eyes whether that was a one-time fluke or if it's something more systemic.
Little Bruce Springsteen in the background there. Selena Wang for us at that Biden rally. Mary Alice, I want to go back to you here because we got a statement moments ago from Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey. Prominent Democratic governor was there attending. I don't remember, Mary Alice, if she was there in person or over Zoom, that meeting with President Biden when he met with all the Democratic governors. She said the president needs to, quote, over the coming days, I urge him to listen to the American people and carefully evaluate whether he remains our best hope to defeat Donald Trump. That's not calling for him to step out, but that's pretty significant. That's a Democratic governor saying that he should look at all of his options, that he should really weigh whether or not he's going to stay in this race. What do you make of that, and what have you heard from other Democrats in that vein?
Yeah, Jay, I had the same reaction to it. I do think this is a significant statement, largely because we haven't heard sitting Democratic governors use this kind of language. This is far from a full-throated endorsement of his candidacy. This is urging the president to weigh all options. And if you're reading between the lines there, what is not said is that he should absolutely, definitely be the nominee, that he is definitely the best person for Democrats to put at the top of the ticket in their efforts to defeat Donald Trump. two things really stuck out to me, too. One, she was here in person, according to the White House. We didn't see her in front of the camera. She didn't come out and speak to reporters after, but the White House says that she was someone here in person, talking to the president behind closed doors here at the White House, gauging him for herself. And the other thing I think is important to, political reporters like me, but of course not lost on voters, is that Massachusetts is a very blue state. This is not a crucial battleground state. This is not a governor from Michigan or Wisconsin or North Carolina or Nevada, one of these states that might decide the election. We anticipate that Massachusetts will go blue. The president shouldn't, in theory, have to worry about keeping that state blue. And so to me, it carries a different sort of weight here, where even a Democratic governor from a very blue state is potentially leaving the door open about whether the president is the best option for the Democratic Party.
Selena Wang, there at that rally in Wisconsin for us. Selena, I've just been handed a piece of paper that is a pool note from our Fritz Farrow, our Biden campaign embed. He says that Biden met with a large crowd outside of that campaign event in Wisconsin where you are. And there was a sign in the crowd that said, quote, "Save your legacy, drop out." That is pretty stirring for perhaps the sitting president to see, at least be in the proximity of a sign calling for him to drop out, presumably from a supporter. I have to ask, Selena, what have you heard from voters there in Wisconsin because of how crucial of a battleground state that is? What have you heard from voters there? I know that you were in North Carolina and the day after that debate. What have you heard from Democratic voters about their reaction to all of this?
Look, across the board, it is nerves, it is anxiety, there is some panic as well. People are here because they want to see with their own eyes whether the president can do the job, whether he can beat Donald Trump. A lot of the voters here I've been talking to, their priority is that Trump is not president again. So whoever can do it, they will throw their full weight behind. But people here are also well aware that this is a decision that the president needs to make himself. He's the only one who can decide whether or not he's going to step down. The voters here I've been speaking to, they're very engaged. They're also going to be tuning into ABC. Several of them told me, watching that interview with George Stephanopoulos, they understand there's teleprompters behind me. I don't know if you can see them on the stage right there, but these are going to be prepared remarks again. So they want to see the president's off-the-cuff remarks. But look, I expect that when the president gets up there, he is going to be energized. He's going to be showing us a version of that North Carolina Biden we saw, not what we saw in the Thursday debate. Because again, he's prepared these remarks. And secondly, President Biden is someone who really feeds off the crowd. And again, this is a friendly crowd. These are his supporters. So you're going to hear cheering and chanting from them when he comes up on stage. They're going to say 4 more years. 4 more years, and that's going to get him really pumped up and excited. So I do expect to see more energy from the president today. But again, Jay, a lot of nerves, a lot of anxiety. I haven't spoken to a single voter who can say with full confidence that the president has what it takes.
For those following with the music, on a lighter note, we went from Bruce Springsteen to Party in the USA. So thank you all for keeping up with that. Mary Alice Park, Selena Wang at that rally for us. Thank you to you both.